Only a tiny fraction of dinosaurs reached the colossal sizes we see in museums and movies. The vast majority were much smaller, often no bigger than a modern house cat. While the image of the towering giants from the Mesozoic era dominates our imagination, those iconic behemoths actually represent just about 5% of all known dinosaur species. Their bones survived the ages simply because their massive skeletons stood a better chance against time and the shifting earth. Yet, scattered across the ancient world were countless smaller dinosaurs, creatures whose bones were delicate, whose stories are rarely told, and whose names are almost unknown outside scientific circles. Today, let's shine a light on these forgotten wonders and get to know the little giants of prehistory. Not every dinosaur that was considered small in its own era would seem tiny compared to modern animals. Some would be as large as a turkey or a dog by today's standards. But among their dinosaur relatives, they were mere runts, true miniatures in a world of giants. Take Compsognathus, for example, a name you might recognize from Steven Spielberg's legendary Jurassic Park films. In the movies, these quick-footed theropods swarm together, taking down prey in coordinated packs, even threatening humans armed for battle. But in reality, we still don't know if Compsognathus actually hunted in groups. The truth behind their social lives remains a mystery. Even their appearance is a puzzle. The fossil record gives us clues, but not the complete picture. What we do know is that Compsognathus measured up to 125 centimeters from nose to tail and weighed just 3.5 kilograms at most, about as much as a large chicken. Some paleontologists believe these dinosaurs, unlike their scaly Hollywood versions, may have been covered in feathers. So far, plumage has only been confirmed in their close relatives, but the evidence is mounting. Compsognathus had a long, slender skull, a flexible S-shaped neck, and a mouth filled with 68 sharp, backward curved teeth, perfect for snapping up insects and small lizards. Their hind feet had 4 clawed toes each, while their front limbs boasted 3 fingers tipped with claws, built for grasping and holding. These nimble predators roamed the lush landscapes of Europe toward the end of the Jurassic period, darting through the undergrowth in search of their next meal. Then there's Micro-Raptor, a name that changed everything we thought we knew about dinosaurs. The discovery of this remarkable animal in what is now China proved once and for all that some dinosaurs wore feathers, just like birds. Micro-Raptor was no bigger than a crow, stretching between 50 and 120 centimeters in length, and rarely weighing more than a single kilogram. But what truly set Micro-Raptor apart was the way it moved through its ancient forest home. Unlike any bird or dinosaur alive today, Micro-Raptor had wings on all 4 limbs, a unique adaptation that allowed it to glide gracefully from tree to tree, a living shadow among the branches. Some paleontologists suggest that Micro-Raptor didn't just glide passively from branch to branch. It may have been capable of bursts of active flight, using its 4 feathered limbs to chase down insects high in the ancient canopy. The discovery of Micro-Raptor stands as one of the clearest links between dinosaurs and modern birds, offering a living snapshot of evolution in motion. Then there's Dylong, a rather unassuming name for a dinosaur that holds a special place on the family tree. Dylong, which roamed what is now China roughly 125 million years ago, was a close cousin to the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. Yet, unlike its colossal relative, Dylong was small and agile. All we have is a single, incomplete skeleton, just enough bones and a remarkably preserved skull to piece together its story. The specimen appears to be from a juvenile, but paleontologists estimate that a full-grown Dylong stretched between 1.6 and 2 meters in length and tipped the scales at no more than 6 kilograms. What's truly fascinating are the traces of proto-feathers found on its fossilized skin. These primitive feathers probably served to keep Dylong warm, rather than for flight, and their presence is highly unusual among larger tyrannosauroids. Still, some scientists now wonder if even the giants might have sported a fuzzy coat in their youth. Fast forward to the twilight of the Cretaceous, and we meet Serotonic, a small theropod from the windswept deserts of southern Mongolia. Serotonic was barely 75 centimeters long and weighed less than a kilogram. Omnivorous by nature, it dined on both small animals and plants. But what truly sets Serotonic apart is its bizarre anatomy. Its 4 limbs were so reduced that each ended in just one elongated claw. Paleontologists believe this unique adaptation let Serotonic dig for roots or tear open rodent nests, survival strategies as creative as they are strange. On the sun-baked plains of ancient Uzbekistan, another tiny dinosaur left its mark, Compsognathus. This bipedal creature, no taller than 61 centimeters and weighing about 1.5 kilograms, is the oldest known overraptor. Compsognathus was a master of finding food in the undergrowth, specializing in insects, a diet that suited its small size and nimble build. Then there's Micro-Raptor, a mouthful of a name for a dinosaur that measured just over 60 centimeters in length. This little herbivore lived in China between 72 and 80 million years ago. Early researchers mistakenly grouped it with other similar-looking dinosaurs because of its skull shape, but more recent studies revealed it actually belonged to the Ceratopsian family, one of the last of its kind able to walk on two legs. Finally, we find Micro-Raptor, another distant relative of the great horned herbivores from the late Cretaceous. This dinosaur, discovered in the vast steppes of Mongolia and China, measured no more than 60 centimeters high and 80 centimeters long, weighing just 3 kilograms. Its small stature belied its close connections to some of the giants that once ruled the land. Much like their larger cousins, Microcerata was equipped with a sturdy protective frill and a sharp, robust beak. This specialized beak worked like a pair of natural shears, slicing easily through the tough stems of ancient ferns and cycads that dominated the landscape millions of years ago. Now let's turn our attention to Achilops. Some 180 million years in the past, this small ceratopsian roamed what is now North America. Adult Achilops were truly tiny by dinosaur standards, measuring about 60 centimeters from snout to tail and weighing just a bit over 1.5 kilograms. The fossil record for Achilops is frustratingly sparse. Just a few scattered bones have been uncovered so far. Still, paleontologists are confident it sported the hallmark features of its family, the iconic frill and the powerful beak. Next, we have Parvicursor, another unique member of the Alvarezsaurid family. This dinosaur is known thanks to the discovery of a single set of pelvic bones and hind limbs unearthed in Mongolia, dating back nearly 72 million years. There might be another fossil belonging to this genus, but so far that find has yet to be formally described by scientists. Parvicursor was among the smallest dinosaurs known, with a body length of about 39 centimeters and a weight that barely exceeded 160 grams. Its forelimbs, much like those of Serotonicus mentioned earlier, ended in a single, elongated claw. This adaptation might have been perfect for fending off predators or tearing open termite mounds in search of food. Moving on, we meet Cernus. This Jurassic theropod stood out as one of the earliest fully feathered dinosaurs. Unlike the later Micro-Raptor, however, it probably hadn't yet developed the ability to truly fly. Its body proportions were a fascinating blend, neither quite like early birds, nor like the more advanced flying dinosaurs that came later. Cernus measured no more than 40 centimeters in length and weighed around 250 grams. Numerous fossils of this insect-eating dinosaur have been found in China, and they are over 160 million years old. Cernus holds a special place in paleontology. It is the first dinosaur whose feather coloration has been scientifically reconstructed. Thanks to modern analysis techniques and exceptionally well-preserved remains, scientists have managed to reveal the true colors of its plumage. And finally, there's Dylong, one of the tiniest known members of the Overraptor family. Measuring at most 50 centimeters long, Dylong lived in what is today China during the early Cretaceous period. This little dinosaur was likely nimble and quick, darting through the forests as a skilled hunter. Given its size and build, it probably had an omnivorous diet, eating both plants and small animals. Most of the dinosaurs we've explored here were discovered in regions with mild, dry climates, conditions that greatly improved the odds of fossil preservation. But the story of small dinosaurs isn't limited to just these areas. Across every continent, there were countless other tiny species, from sauropods and marine reptiles to baby pterosaurs, all hidden within the ancient world's tapestry. The sheer number of these creatures is staggering, far more than can be covered in a single episode. If you're intrigued by these miniature marvels and want to learn about even more lesser-known dinosaurs, there's a whole world still waiting to be discovered. You'll also find stories here about the evolution of other fascinating creatures, as well as deep dives into some of the biggest challenges facing our